So this is a video about understanding and exploring your everyday life as a waking dream. Waking dreams are so called because of their origins in the early 20th century, when psychologists got interested in the overlap between an imagined reality and a physical reality that happens either upon falling asleep or waking up from sleep, when we can find ourselves in a dreamscape alongside a simultaneous and perhaps reassuring awareness of being safely tucked up in bed. Carl Jung, the psychotherapist, he developed that. He took it into therapeutics and called it active imagination, in which the patient would sit there, eyes closed, and describe to him the imagery passing through their awareness. In other words, an imagined reality that overlapped with the physical reality of being in the consulting room with Mr. Jung. However, we do not need to stop with an eyes closed exploration in consulting rooms. Waking dreams are continuous, and we're always in one. As is happening right now, as you watch this screen, a physical reality of lights and sounds that overlaps with an imagined reality of me sitting under a tree. What makes him tick? Where is he going? Who is this person? Etc., etc. All that story world is created by your imagination. It's not given to you directly by the sounds and colours coming from the screen. And this can go wrong. This waking dream activity that is everyday life can go wrong in two ways, both of which cause quite a bit of suffering, and we want to understand that, I'd suggest, so that we can look out for it and act against it by enhancing the overlap, enhancing our awareness of the overlap between imagined and physical realities. The first way it can go wrong is literalism. As famously Charles Darwin, he wrote about this in his autobiography, because at the end of his life he went back to the Shakespeare plays and the poetry that used to inspire him as a younger man, and it no longer did so. He was just left with the page, the ink. It no longer took him into a satisfying story world. It no longer impinged upon him and moved him in the way it once did. As happens when we struggle to get into a novel ourselves, or struggle to get into a movie perhaps, but also when we struggle to understand or empathize or connect with our family and friends and perhaps therapy clients. It's a lack of imaginative reach. We're just left with the bare sensations of the physical page, movie screen person. The other way that waking dreams can go wrong is in the other direction, where the imagined reality drifts away from and becomes disconnected from the physical reality, and we can get lost in a delusional fantasy life that isn't joined up to what actually is, and that can be quite painful to ourselves but also to those around us. So learning to notice the waking dream nature of everyday life is the first step. And then secondly, learning to explore and enhance and cultivate that overlap between imagined and physical realities is the second step, along the way to avoiding the painful dangers of literalism and fantasy.